What's going on, Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, hit that sub button and hit that notification bell. Make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. And for today's issue, we're going to be diving into X-Men issue number 18. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the X-Men line, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything X-Men related. Now, before we dive into this issue, I want to talk about the Children of the Vault, because that's not something that we've covered here on that channel, and I want everybody to be up to date on what this issue is talking about, because this issue has direct connections to the Children of the Vault. And so the Children of the Vault, they're not mutants, but they're highly evolved beings. They evolved from a baseline human genetic base over a time period of 6,000 years. Their society was raised in the hull of a ship with temporal acceleration technology, and it was used to evolve a collection of individuals into superpower beings. And due to a genetic drift, they are a separate species from either baseline humans or mutant humans. Now, with that being said, let's dive into this issue. Now, this issue opens us up in South America at the Vault. Now, throughout this story, our narrator is Cinch, and he's letting us know from this point forward, you can't depend on time to function in a manner resembling normal. It waves and worries like temporal tides. This, however, is the past, and it takes us to day one, a record of events. With little help from fellow mutants, they were able to successfully breach the external defenses of the Vault and proceed inside without detection, easier than they had actually expected, and their team made up of Darwin, Wolverine, and Cinch. And their primary objective is to ascertain the threat, level, and potential weaknesses of the Vault, and the full capability of what lies within and those of the children. And this is when they get inside and they see a giant freaking city, good enough to hold at least 1 million people, maybe even more. But this is when Darwin lets us know that for whatever reason, the Children of the Vault have engaged in strict population control. And the theory seems sound because he does a scan and he registers very few heat signatures within inside the city. And so, for the most part, this city is pretty sparsely populated. And so they're hoping this gives them the advantage to be able to sneak in and be able to get out undetected. But if they're not able to, that is exactly why Wolverine is here. And Cinch just happens to be the best of both worlds. And so they make their way into the elevator and head down into the city. And this is when we see Serafina, and she's being scanned by the system, by the Vault, doing its initial report, letting it know that there was a mission failure, that there's an increased threat activity level of non-augmented, naturally occurring human population, and the increased threat level activity of Homo superior. Mutant resistance expected, threat level primary. And so in conclusion, the Vault opening has been delayed, because child level needs to be 3 for a successful occupation subjugation of external environment. So essentially the AI is letting them know that they're not going to be able to go out yet until the Children of the Vault have reached the next level of evolution. Because the threat outside, because of the threat of the mutants is so high, there's no way that they would actually be able to beat the mutants. And this is when we see all of our residents, Fuego, Songi, Aguja, and Pero. Now they're about to go back into kind of like cryostasis and wait for their time. But this is when they get an alert that there's an anomaly detected and they need to protect the city. And this is when they see the X-Men making their way down the elevator. And as soon as the doors open up, the Children of the Vault light it up, only to see that there's nobody inside. And this is when our X-Men come down from on top of them. And this is where we see Wolverine straight slash open the stomach of Serafina, apparently leaving her dead on the ground. And the rest of the teams break into firefights. Literal firefight. And we see Cinch get burned really badly here, but he somehow ends up taking the powers of Fuego. And it appears that his powers don't just take those of mutants. And he uses those powers to burn 2 of them to a crisp. And with only one Children of the Vault remaining, she uses what power she has and causes a giant explosion, causing the entire city to go nuclear. And that will be where this issue ends. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I really did enjoy this issue. You know, it was a fun little dive into the Children of the Vault. And we're seeing how their powers have progressed to this point and what kind of threat they're actually going to be able to hold moving forward. Now, we don't know exactly what this means with the whole city being destroyed. And our mutants were also killed in this, as we can tell. And the story that we're being told is essentially his memory, a debriefing of everything that happened up until the moment he died. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and until the next issue.